The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
The Lethbridge Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news regarding the Bulls with interviews with current and past players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spit Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things regarding baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up with the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report.
All right, the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report up and running. Remember, we were up on Rogers TV as well as our Lethbridge Bulls YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. And we are wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you get them, we are there. Lots going on here at Spit Stadium. Lots of behind-the-scenes stuff. Getting ready. It's crazy to think that we're getting closer and closer to the Bulls players showing up here in a few short months. We used to have a lot of months. Now they're kind of not running out, but running fewer, I guess is one way of putting it. Coach Carlin Dick, that's going to be something hard to get to say, but he's working hard behind the scenes on getting the Bulls Fan Fest going. It's going to be a great event for fans, young and old. Season ticket holders are going to get their packages of tickets, as well as the different swag that we have for them. Also, the kids in the Minotaur Club, they'll be getting their things as well, and get a first glimpse at the Minotaur, which is a new kids club here for Lethbridge Bulls. So a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Carlin's got some stuff for bouncy castles, just different events happening around to make this to kick off the 2025 Lethbridge Bulls season at the Fan Fest, kick it off. As well, we're going to have the annual TCMM game and kids camp as well on the 28th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Celebrate the lives of Tanner Craswell and Mitch McLean, who lost their lives in that tragic, senseless act all those years ago, just north of Clare's home. So we're going to spruce things up a little bit this year with the TCMM game to celebrate their lives and have a little bit of fun with the game. It's going to be banana ball-esque, I guess you could say, the Bulls versus the Vauxhall Jets. We got some final things to work through, but it's going to be a banana ball-esque, some different little rules. They're going to have a little bit of fun with it, and should be a lot of fun changing things up a little bit, but not without honoring the lives of Tanner and Mitch, which is still very important to everybody around here at Spit Stadium. But so that's on the 28th of May, so make sure you mark down your calendars. Anyways, today we have a very special guest on this one, a guy who couldn't find himself to get out of bed a little bit, probably another late night studying, but it happens when you're a young growing boy like this next guest is. Jimmy's his third year with the Bulls. A couple of years back, he pitched in a couple of games. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show, in this interview. But Jimmy was a second-year guy last year with the Bulls full season, just out of high school, right-handed pitcher. One of the funnier guys, even though he was the youngest guy on the team last year. One of the funniest guys that I've been around the 2024 baseball team. So it was always fun to get a chat with Jimmy and his youthful exuberance and everything else. He's always got something funny to say and something a bit of a wisecrack, and you don't know if he's serious half the time or if he's joking around half the time. You don't know what's going on with Jimmy Boulanger half the time. Expecting big things out of Jimmy this upcoming 2025 season. A year older than a year of college baseball under his belt, so should be a lot of fun to have another one of those Vauxhall kids coming out here. So without any further ado, another guy out of Vauxhall and another guy out of Abbotsford. But here he is, right-hand pitcher, the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Boulanger. The Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report, joined today by none other the pride of Abbotsford, BC. Got himself out of bed to grace us with his presence. No problem at all. Kind of seems to happen a little, becoming a regular here in the Bullhorn. But here he is, Mr. Jimmy Boulanger. How you doing, Jim?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tired, but
a little tired. Rough night last night in Yuma.
Yeah, rough night.
It happens. Jimmy, you're in your first year of college baseball after leaving the big city of Vauxhall, where you graduated last year. What's the first year of college baseball been like so far?
It's definitely a lot hotter down in Arizona than Vauxhall, but we got our first conference game this Friday, and looking forward to that. Should be pretty good.
When you first got down to Yuma and you're away from family and friends and people that you know and regular face. I mean, the same thing when you went to Vauxhall, probably didn't know a whole bunch of people, the odd dick brother rolling around here and there. But
Yeah.
when you first get down to Arizona and you're away from everybody, who was somebody you leaned on a little bit when you got to play for the Eastern Arizona College or the Monsters? Who was somebody you leaned on a little bit?
So it's in Thatcher actually, but my roommate. Yeah. So when I came down here, before I came down here, I texted the coach and said I got a buddy, he's a good pitcher or whatever, and I sent him his stuff. And so I grew up with him, and he's my neighbor, lives like 2 minutes from me, and so he's my roommate, and he came down here with me, which has been pretty good. And now I got Getz, who played with me at Vauxhall, and he's playing Bulls this summer too. He's now here too, so I got some buddies here.
You talk about Brett Getz down in Vauxhall, and what's the thing that we talk about Les all the time on the show. He gets a lot of free publicity from the Bullhorn, but when you talk about Les McTavish, and Les is a really good guy. I get along with Les quite well. And what's something you learned from Les going into Vauxhall, and what's he meant to your baseball career to this point?
Oh, a lot. I learned a lot about baseball, like pitchability, and like a lot about the game, like understanding how everything works, and the baseball side of things.
Yeah, you get to your first year down there. Is there a lot of things that maybe kind of blew your mind a little bit with college baseball and how much work there was, or maybe how much work there wasn't? What's been the big difference between the high school in Vauxhall, where it's pretty baseball centric? You guys do a lot of stuff there compared to what it is at Eastern Arizona.
Definitely having to be at so many different places throughout the day. Like you got to go to the classroom, weights, and still trying to find time to eat throughout the day. Like you got class from like 9 to 12 almost every day, then weights from 12 to 1, then you got to go to practice till like 5 o'clock, then you got a night class, and you got to find time to eat. So it's pretty hectic at times. But
so you must be sitting in your room around 12 to 1 when it's weight time.
No, come on, Brenton, I'm getting after in the weight room.
You look like it. You look like you still got to run around the shower to get wet, but whatever. One of those things. Jimmy, last year, not just last year, but the year before, when between your grade 11 and 12 year, you got the call to come and pitch for the Bulls here in Lethbridge. What was going through your mind, and did your room smell like poo a little bit? And what was like, holy cow? Or it's like, hey, this is going to be great. What was your thought process there when you're probably 16, 17 years old at that point?
Well, I was pretty excited, and I was only affiliating, so I was only there for about 2 weeks, I think, until I went home. But I didn't think I was gonna get into pitch, but I did get in once at Brooks, and I probably gave up the farthest ball I've ever thrown in my life. Like it went over the big fence at Brooks, like way over it, and I never want to pitch at Brooks ever again.
Yeah, we were discussing yesterday who's going to get and I don't have any say in who gets what and what's going to happen, but we were trying to think who's going to get that opening night start in Brooks. And I was like, you better hope that somebody's got a lot of space between their ears and won't let it get to them, because it can be it can be a little bit humbling for sure.
Yeah.
When you get back into your grade 12 year and you start setting some goals for yourself, and it probably started happening grade 10, grade 11, whatever it might be. But when you get setting some goals for yourself, and what's going through not only your head, but maybe your parents' heads, where they want you to go or what you could possibly do and how it works. So tell us through that whole process, how you end up at Eastern Arizona. And if you had some other, don't mention their names. It's because no one wants to be snubbed by any means by Jimmy Boulanger. Wreak havoc for the rest of your life. But what's the process from when you're playing at Vauxhall to end up at Eastern Arizona, and how did your parents and you come up to the decision to go there?
So obviously I'm trying to end up try to go to a Division I school, and Vauxhall helped me get to here, and hopefully here helps me get to there. And I mean, throughout the whole journey, I get to play for Lethbridge in the summer, which is best summer I've ever had. Like all my buddies play there, and so I keep playing wherever I go and having fun, and hopefully I end up where I want to end up in the end.
When you looking back last year, well, actually, before we get to the Bulls summer coming up and the one that just passed, but what would be a great year for you on the mound, and a great year for the monsters out there with Jalen Ryan and Brett Getz and the rest of you guys down there with the monsters? I think the first thing you guys got to do personally is maybe alter the name, maybe just put the monsters. isn't ferocious enough, and it's not really,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so many monsters out there. But what would be a success for Jimmy, and then what would be a success for the Monsters?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're trying to win the conference. That would be ideal. We got to take down some. There's pretty good teams, Central, CSN, but I think if we play good, we got a lot different team this year than last year. So I think we'll be pretty good. And I want to win it all.
Let's get to last year's Bulls team, and you took on a more of a role. You weren't just a two guy appearance, and you did a lot more appearances, a lot more going on. What was the biggest shock to your system a little bit now that you were there for a full season about the I don't want to say the grind, but there's a bit of a grind when it comes to summer baseball. But what was your biggest like holy cow moment when it came to playing for the Bulls from the WCBL?
Probably how many times I'd go up there and pitch, and a guy would hit a ball like 100 miles an hour off me, and you just got to wash it. Whereas in high school, it was a lot easier to pitch, and I got here and I was like, thought it was going to be the same, and I realized pretty quick that giving up 2-3 runs is good in this league, right? Where before it was like I was pissed off, and it's like now I have to be okay with giving up 3 bombs in a game after 6 innings if I only gave up 3 runs. So
it is a lot different. I mean, guys have a little more experience than you would have that. Like, and people forget that you're 17 years old or whatever you were back then, 17, 18. And it's a big difference. All of a sudden you're playing against guys who are 23, 24 and have X amount of years of now with who knows how the portal works, and guys play forever, and they're all of a sudden you're older than Carlin and you're still playing.
They're yelling at you from the dugout, chirps. Like I remember one time I was going down to the bullpen, and it was at Saskatoon, and they were yelling at me like, "Who brought their little brother to the game?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I got yelled, like harassed on the mound sometimes. But
I was going to ask, like, it must be a little bit different because when you're in grade 12, when you're playing for Vauxhall, and you guys Vauxhall's always had a really good program, and you don't probably get chirped a lot. I mean, you're not the most you're not the oldest looking guy on the bench, but like when you're playing against high school guys, you wouldn't get that bit of a cheer or chirp. Would that be was that like what the heck is going on here? Because it didn't happen to me 3 weeks prior when you're playing for Vauxhall. Now you're your first time up in Saskatoon. You're probably like, what the heck did they get myself into this summer?
Yeah, no, it's definitely different when guys are trying to actually destroy you mentally on the mound, and then like it gets to the point where you got to start throwing balls at guys to make them stop. But no, it's definitely a lot different when 23-year-old men are yelling at you instead of a bunch of little kids. But
wait till this 50-year-old man starts yelling at you this summer coming up. But anyways, this isn't even a setup. I actually had this written down. Baseball and life in general can be a bit humbling at times. Do you ever have a moment mentally when you have some doubts going through your head? Like mental health it's a thing. It's kind of a thing that's come up more so in the last 5 to 6 years than it was it has in the past. And like you guys probably have some mental strength coaches and things that you have that I didn't have when I was your age. What's Jimmy Boulanger do to get past those little hurdles throughout life? Because that space between the ears that can wreak havoc on the rest of your body. What does like how do you get through those things when you don't know if you got it or not?
So I was blessed with short-term memory loss. I can't remember what I had for breakfast even today. So really, I just if I go out there and pitch shitty, I mean, I'll feel like shit for the rest of that day. But the next day, I couldn't tell you what happened. I could maybe tell you about one batter that I faced. I know we lost or we won, but I couldn't tell you what pitches I threw or what hits I gave up. I can't remember much at all. I only know one birthday of anyone. Yeah, my little sister. That's all I know. Couldn't tell you anyone else's birthday.
We got to find this magical pill and market this, the Jimmy Boulanger special. Make a few bucks on the side on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Think what you would do for athletes around the world.
Yeah, I know. Short-term memory loss.
Short-term memory is the key to success. Don't worry, be happy. Whatever. It's one of those things. I had to laugh because last week when Jalen. I didn't know because I didn't know you guys went to the same college. Me and Carlin and Josh don't talk about the whole stuff a lot. How did you put your recruiting hat on to tell Jalen Ryan that maybe playing in Lethbridge for the Bulls? Like, first off, how did you convince him that maybe he should consider it? And then I'd like to know how you convinced Josh and Carlin that maybe your opinion should matter.
So I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but
You can say whatever you want.
I told them that the drinking age in Canada was 18, and you can go to bars here. It's 21. So he's pretty pumped about that. And
Just to have some fun, not go over the edge and everything else. Like, no, that's totally
just
legit.
a little bit of fun. And I told him, like, sometimes you'll get 5,000 fans. Like, it's really, like, a lot of these guys have never played in front of more than 200 people. So when I was showing him videos of the people, like the amount of fans we play in front of and the big games you get to play in, he's like, I didn't even know Canada had baseball. A lot of them here think we just live in England. They got no clue. But he's like, no, I didn't. He's like, Canada, yeah, I'll come to Canada. Yeah.
That's no. Maybe we should put you in charge of recruiting over the summer, because like you told me, like I'm 50, I'd play for you. Like so how did you convince Josh? How did you convince Josh and Ryan, Coach Ryan, and then now Carlin, you're one of your coaches that he should join in the that Jalen's the guy? Because I personally, like, Jimmy, I like you, but I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you to grab one of your guys. You say, hey, this is a good guy.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
Thanks.
Like after this year, I might trust a little bit more. It's a gradual process.
Yeah. No, I just told him he's a really good guy. He's one of the hardest working guys on our team. And with Josh Kabiyama, he's gone. So we need another center fielder. And Jalen's super fast. He covers lots of ground. So he's like good replacement.
No, we look forward to seeing Jalen patrol in center field. A lot of real estate out there, and he's the guy to like you said, to take over for Josh Kabiyama, all-time great Lethbridge Bull. Don't tell Josh I said that, but it's one of those things. I get a kick out of pitchers a lot. Like, no matter what league you're in, if it's in the major leagues or minor leagues or into college baseball, into summer leagues, like pitchers, they got a little bit of downtime on their hands. When you're out in the bullpen or you're in the dugout, and the coaches might make a decision about who goes in or what happened here, if they bunt or didn't bunt or whatever. Have you ever been a little overly vocal when it comes to maybe a decision that Coach Ryan McDonald made? Don't worry, he doesn't listen or watch this. So it's So or maybe that Josh made last summer, or Miles might have done. Did you ever say, here's what I would have done? Did you say it under your breath a little bit, or did you get a little bit vocal saying, geez, I don't know about this one?
No, I trust whatever they got. But there's a couple times where they'd let us call pitches or something, or there's a couple times where they let us kind of decide what to do, and that was pretty fun. But sometimes we got bets on what guys are going to do in the game. So we got to tell the coaches, hey, you got to put this guy in. He's got to do this for my parlay to hit. So.
Just friendly bets with no money nothing being exchanged.
No money. Just
for bragging rights.
Yeah.
You're making Lethbridge sound less and less appealing for parents, drinking and gambling and everything else. Like, what the heck's going on with the Bulls? It's all in good fun, and it's one of those things. Because everybody talks about that last game in Okotoks. Did you pitch in that game? Did you not?
Yeah, I started that game.
You started that game. Like, what was you're the best one to ask this, because the other guys there, they just play and they don't, guy plays out in right field. I'm not disparaging a guy plays in right field or guy plays third base or whatever. But what was like, if you're a young kid going to that situation, you must have been thinking, what the heck did I get myself into here? Or you like, darn right, so I'm not trying. I almost said the F-bomb at 10:06 in the morning here in Lethbridge. But what was like when you got the ball, or you got told the night before or whatever it was, or the schedule was set up? Actually, let's go to the night before. Did you know you were pitching game 3?
Yeah.
So when the Bulls took the lead, and you're like, oh, she's go time now. What was the thought process going through Jim's head when you left the ballpark at 10:30 at night to when you got on the bus to go to Okotoks?
So I was extremely excited. I don't think I was nervous. I was more excited going into it. And I remember on the bus ride there, I listened to Somewhere Over the Rainbow by the Hawaiian dude. Yeah, it's a good song. But I was listening to that before I pitched. I don't know why.
Don Ho?
Sorry?
Is it Don Ho that sings that?
No, it's like I can't even pronounce the name. Some Hawaiian, long
Well, Don
Hawaiian.
Ho's Hawaiian.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
But maybe
Yeah.
a newer version.
Yeah. But
Okay.
anyways, we're going there, and the song's playing, calming me down, and I got there. So I wasn't nervous. I was excited, and then as soon as I got on the mound, and I saw I think there had to have been close to like 7,000 people. I was like 7,000 people, and I was like, got on the mound and got the ball, and like you look up, and I was like, oh shit, like I really got to like. There's a lot of people here. Like I got to do good, and so. Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you much of what happened because, like I said, short-term memory loss. Couldn't even tell you how many innings I went, but no, it was that game. That was the funniest game I've ever played in, and let alone like I pitched in it. Even if I wasn't in it, would have been the coolest game I've ever been at. I think we went to the 13th inning till like 11 o'clock at night. Got walked off by a squeeze bunt. But yeah, no, that was definitely a really good experience.
Like when you handed the ball off to Coach Ryan when you were done, like you said, you have short-term memory loss, and you got to the bench. Like, did you let out a sigh of relief and the crap out of your pants and everything else, or was it just like, okay, well, my job's done, and now it's everybody else's job to see what can happen?
I think I gave up. I can't remember how many runs I gave up, or how many innings I went, but it wasn't like a terrible performance, but it wasn't.
No, I think
like,
you gave up 2. I think that was it. Like I think if I recall. Yeah.
Well, I think I remember I was frustrated because like I wanted to, big game. I wanted to be the guy who could win the game for us.
I mean, Jesus.
And so I think I was pretty frustrated. Went to the dugout. I probably dropped a couple F-bombs. I didn't throw anything, but I went and sat at the end of the dugout for probably 10 minutes and washed it and got back up. But yeah.
Do you look back, like those are big moments, and you might look back a couple of years from now, watch it on TV when you're all said and done and playing, and 15, 20 years from now when you're a retired old guy like myself, and you might go, that's pretty cool. Like that was a big moment.
Oh yeah.
It's no, I think it's great you got that opportunity to go out there and do it. I mean, if you, like you said, like you're almost like you guys are all young in comparison, right? But if you're almost they talk about it all the time in like the hockey and baseball, like when sometimes having a guy who's just too young and dumb to realize any different might be the best guy to throw out there.
Yeah, no, you gotta like go play up to it.
Do you like that's a big moment? Those don't happen all the time in the WCBL, obviously. Like, there's a lot of good moments for sure. What's some of the things you like the most about playing just baseball in general? Like first thing in college, and then now into WCBL with Lethbridge Bulls.
I mean, the friends I've made, like all my best buddies, I'll be friends with for the rest of my life. I've met them all through baseball, I believe. So, like all the guys I met at Vauxhall, they're going to be playing for the Bulls as we, the next couple 3-4 years. The relationships
you better
build,
win.
like even. Sorry.
Don't just guarantee these spots. You better win something here a little.
Oh yeah. And
that's not a frat club, man. Like, if you're a
yeah.
Vauxhall Jet, you get to play here.
Yeah. But no, like even the relationships you build with the coaches, like Carlin, I grew up with Carlin. Carlin was like big brother to me, and now it's pretty cool. Like he gets to coach me, and Bergie coached me at Vauxhall, and Ryan Mack and Miles. I went golfing with them over the summer. Like it's a really tight knit group, which I don't think you get everywhere. So.
What's your hopes for the Lethbridge Bulls this summer when you get back here, maybe in middle or to near the end of May, I guess, and you hit the rope for the first 4 or 5 games or first 8 games? I think there's 7. I can't remember. I say a different number every time I do one of these things. But what's your biggest hopes for the season for the Bulls and in the 2025 season?
So I got 2 goals. So one, obviously, to win it, and the second goal is if I believe if we win 12 games in a row, we get a hot tub.
12 is the magical number. Yeah, that is the number. You got to 9 and then lost 1 and then won 3 or 4 in a row after that. So the hot tub chase is already on. Jimmy Boulanger's said so. We'll have to make sure we get that up. We'll get some kind of a graphic in the dressing room to start knocking off balloons or whatever it might be to get to that 12 right off the bat and get that out of the way.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to be the group who brings the hot tub. to the locker room. So
you guys should make sure that happens this time around. It's been talked about a long time around these parts, and maybe somebody's gonna Jimmy will be the guy to get the ball in game 1, game 7, and game 12.
Yeah.
There we go. Jim, I know you like you're a big you pay attention to everything that's going around Spitz Stadium, and you're a big vocalist. And you tell me when things aren't going right. So you know about this thing called 3 easy questions. I'm sure you know how it all works. You ready to go?
Yep.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No. I saw him. I don't have Instagram, but Jalen showed me his thing, and I saw the 3 easy questions.
3 easy questions. Charlton Hill was on the patio all summer long at Bulls games.
Oh, never mind then. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so what happens is somebody goes to the Tony Days, or somebody goes to it's usually Tony's the game day host. He goes to the patio right behind the dugout, right? You know where that is, correct?
Yeah.
And he asks a fan 3 easy questions brought to you by Charlton and Hill.
Yeah, I remember that now.
You don't, do you?
I remember him going around with the mic and talking to people.
I think we got to get your brain checked for this concussion syndrome. Maybe I don't think it's a lack of a short-term memory. I just think there's something wrong with your coconut, man.
There's a possibility of that.
There's a possibility. Okay. Anyways, here we go. On the 2024 editions of the Lethbridge Bulls roster, besides you, who had the least Riz/cool factor in that Bulls locker room in 2024?
That's a really tough question, Riz. All right. I'm gonna have to go with. Let me think about this. I need to put the right name.
It doesn't matter, man. You might never see this person again.
This is deep, Brent. You don't understand. I'm gonna go with Cole Alguire.
Cole Alguire.
Yeah. No. Couldn't. Yeah. Terrible. Riz.
Just the no Riz, with his sunglasses on the whole time.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't working.
So Cole. That's easy enough. See, that's easy. That says you can't be wrong. It's just your opinion. Whether Cole likes you or not anymore, that's a different story. But it's one of those. Yeah. It's just opinion. It's opinion based. Second one. Most embarrassing thing you have done on the baseball field in the last 2 years.
Most embarrassing thing on baseball. I can't remember anything.
Short term. I think we got to get your dome checked, man.
Get out.
There has to be one.
Get out. Sorry, guy came in the room.
Nothing.
Most embarrassing. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, what's the most embarrassing thing you've done off the baseball field?
Oh, there's a lot of those.
This one's a little easier.
There was one time when I was about, 13, 14, and me and Cardell Dick, we were painting a fence, and I wanted frosted tips, so I stuck my head in a bucket of paint, but it was like all weathered oil paint.
Nice.
And it would not come out, so I actually had to end up shaving my head.
Really?
Yeah, not fully shaved, but I had to cut scissors out the rough parts of paint, and it was botched, but it grew back in a month, and it was all fine.
The only difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, even at my age, not a big deal. Doesn't grow back on some parts anyways, but you stuck your head in a can of paint.
Yeah. Yeah. You better ask Carlin that. Carlin would remember some more things.
A little conversation with that one. I already know that you're a Swiftie, just as I talked with Levi and Brett yesterday. So I know you're a Swiftie because that's what you know. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
she's got earworms. I think they're great. And so you're one of those guys as well. It's not a big deal. I am too. Not a full on Swiftie, but like my wife is, so I'm Swiftie by proxy, I guess. But other than a Taylor Swift song, name one song. I asked Carlin this back in December about but name one song, gun to your head, if you had to get all the lyrics right, what would it be?
I'm definitely going for Revival by Zach Bryan. Yeah, I could sing that whole song.
Do you want to give us a little bit of give the fans a little bit of a toast of this?
No, I would not like to do that. I whip out the guitar too. I know it on guitar too.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
You're a guitar player.
I wouldn't call myself a guitar player, but I could strum the strings a little bit.
Campfire hero.
Yeah.
Like no one's really listening, but you're good enough to keep everybody, the crowd involved.
Yeah, just some noise in the background.
That's what usually when you talk, that's noise in the background there, Jimmy. But it's one of those things. Jim, no, this is a lot of fun. You were a little late, but because you're busy guy overnight, studying all night long, late into the wee morning hours, probably working out early, so you couldn't get up as what you'd like to. But I really appreciate you coming on the Bullhorn. Have you got anything to say to the Lethbridge Bulls fans for the 2025 season?
Let's win it.
Let's win it. There we go. Horns up. There we go, Jim. No, thanks very much for doing this. And we look forward to seeing you here in the spring and the summer. We'll have a few laughs at other people's at Cole Alguire's expense.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for doing this. We'll talk to you later. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks, Brent.
All right, man. Yeah, there he was. There's Jimmy Boulanger, the first guy in the long, illustrious history of the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. Threw out a bit of a cuss word, I guess you could say, as Jack Kaliski calls them. But thank you very much, Jimmy, for once again joining us here on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. He's going to be a beauty coming up here with a year under his belt, a little more confidence. I don't know if you can get more confident than that kid, but it should be a lot of fun getting Jimmy up here and having a chat with him face to face and nose to nose and all that whole bit. So it's going to be good to see Jimmy and see how he does in his baseball season. We're cheering for all these guys who spend time out of their busy schedules to come and chat with us. And it's a grind. Like college baseball can be a grind, and to come and talk to people like this and get up on the Bullhorn is greatly appreciated for not just me and the staff here at Spit Stadium, for all the Bulls fans that are out there watching this and following. And thank you everybody who watched this show. A lot of great reviews, a lot of great feedback about the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. Anyways, that's it for another show. Make sure you go to bullsbaseball.com, get your tickets. Season tickets are still on sale. They for now until February 1st. I should get this straightened out. But the early bird pricing, single game tickets go on sale on February 1st. You can already call and reserve your group packages, home plate club, the dugout clubs, the patios, the terrace, the suite, the blah blah blah, everything we got here at Spit Stadium for the fans. And and then go to bullsbaseball.com for all your apparel. Got some new things coming in, making their long awaited return. Big hit last year was the Bull shirt. Notice I said shirt, the Bull shirt, going to be back again, back by popular demand. We ran out last year. It's going to make sure we don't run out of those this year. Kind of a funny story behind how the Bull shirt there, but it should be. So make sure you go to bullsbaseball.com and pick up all your apparel, all your Bulls swag for a great price and everything else, and start representing the team and getting the logo out there for the upcoming season. And it's going to be unbelievable this year coming up for the Lethbridge Bulls. That's it. Another edition of the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball report. Horns up, everybody, and we will talk to you again very soon.
The Lethbridge Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news regarding the Bulls with interviews with current and past players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spit Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things regarding baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up with the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball report.